This is the future. Evolution. This is the future. Evolution. This is the future.
Oh, I still hear it playing in the background. I'm an idiot. Hey guys, how's it going? Matt from Foulball Productions here. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope that you're doing well because I'm doing phenomenally. Thank you so very much. And like on cue, literally, this boy was sleeping under the bed until the intro was playing. And he knew. He knew who the people really want to see. They want to see Lukey bite. How you guys doing? It's been a while. It's been a little while. I have not been broadcasting. I think you may have noticed. It's been quite the gap, which has sort of been my MO of late. And I don't know. I've been in a weird place with this YouTube thing for a while. I think I've expressed that many times. But I'm feeling more comfortable with it, putting out the sketches every once in a while. I even made like a honest to goodness regular YouTube video last night. I'm in the process of editing, where it's like a video essay style thing. So, you know, I don't want to say I'm back because I've said that before and it wasn't true. But here I am doing the 37th episode of the MFer Podcast. And I thank you very much for joining me. Thank you. It's good to see you. Sentient Dodo is back. Hello, Sentient Dodo. Good to see you, dude. I remember you told me you got unsubscribed, which I couldn't believe because I remember I was doing podcasts. I'm like, God, not even Sentient Dodo's here. I must be fucking irrelevant. But it's good to see you, pal. It's good to see you. Listless receptionist. Hello. Good to see you. Why did you change? What's with the change of the name? I'm always curious why people change their handle. Like Papa Cotton being Wookiee and all that stuff. I'm always just curious. Not that I care. Like, not that I'm judging it. I'm just genuinely curious. Hello, Man of War 665, neighbor of the beast, supportive as always. Good to see you, my friend. You know, I still think that intro's cool, but I understand maybe it conflicts with the tone of the show. I don't care. I like it. I think it's fun. Maybe I'll change it. Maybe I won't. I think it's awesome. Was just finishing some schoolwork and saw this was going live. Yes! Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you being here. That is awesome. Luke is a raver. He's an absolute raver. I agree. And hello, Jana Banana. What's up, boners? Not much. What's going on, boners? What's going on? Well, yeah, it's been a little while. It's been a little while, but here we are. I was a little nervous today. I was like, shit, I haven't done this in a while. Certainly not solo. I don't know how to do this, but I think I'll figure it out. I'm going to start with something I was thinking about today. So, like, my girlfriend, right? I love her. She loves me. She desires a lot of my time, you know, and a lot of, like, communication back and forth. And I'm not as good at that. I compartmentalize a lot, you know? Like, once I say goodbye to you, you know, for me, it's like I'll say hi to you later. But then I'll go home and get a text from her, and I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't get it. And I used to think it was like her texting me that I didn't like. But then earlier today, my friend of mine is blowing up my phone, and I read the text, and I write back. And then a half hour later, he blows it up again, and I'm like, oh, I just hate texting. It doesn't matter who's doing it. I just don't like it. I feel like it's a chore. It's like now I've got to like stop what I'm doing, sit down, focus on the phone, write a response. And to me, texting is like, like you're in war and you're sending like a telegram, or like coordinates. Like it's a one-way thing. It doesn't keep going back and forth. You just send it out. You accomplish the mission, and then that's that. But people nowadays use it as a communication, like a conversation platform. And to me, it's not. If you want to have a conversation, just call me. I'll answer the phone. I got these lovely AirPod Pros from my girlfriend for our anniversary. So I can use them, and I'd be happy to have a conversation on the phone. But texting a conversation is absolute tedium. Because also the thing is, you don't know when it's done, right? Like unless there's like a real period on the sentence, you like put the phone down. Oh, we got a text again. And it's like this anxiety you're living in between just getting back to your life or whatever it is you're doing, which, granted, isn't always the most important things. It's not like negotiating the Ukraine-Russia peace treaty or anything. I'm probably just playing video games or dicking around on a YouTube video. But still, it's my time, and I just find it stressful. I like short, under 30-second back and forth text. If there needs to be a conversation, please just call me. I'm totally down to take phone calls. I like taking phone calls, but texting back and forth is just irksome. Anyone agree? Does anyone else find it as tedious as I do? I don't like texting. I don't really like it. Listless. I get it. I set up plans through text and then go see them, right? Yeah. I went on a date with a girl before my girlfriend. Make that very clear. She watches these. I don't want to get in trouble. Before, and I was like making plans with her over Instagram. I barely met this girl, right? Met her once, and then like 6 months later, she hit me up, and I was like, all right, let's see where this goes. And then like we had plans for, I literally think like the next day, and we went to rock climbing, right? And in that span, I was like, oh, hey, we still on for today? And she goes, oh, yeah. She goes, oh, you're not much of a texter. I was like, what's there to text about? Like, we have plans for tomorrow. I don't know you. Like, I'll talk to you then. Like, I don't, what am I supposed to get to know you? I don't like having this in my hand all the time. I'm talking about the phone, not my penis. I just don't like it. It makes me, I don't know, like, I listen to things all day long, but I don't like constantly interacting with it. It's like, I'm old, right? I'm an old millennial. It's like it takes all my focus into this thing. I don't care for it. Personally, I don't care for it. I don't know. Listless, I just found out people are banking on their phone. I don't even have the bank. Well, now that actually, I'm going to have to disagree with you there. I bank. I do all my financial stuff on my phone. I actually quite rarely open up the web browser to do my financial stuff. It's so easy. Pay your credit cards. Bing. It's right there. I love it. I bank on my phone all the time. Yeah. I do like my phone. Don't get me wrong. It's the conversations that like intrude on my life that I didn't ask for, that I didn't initiate. That's where I have an issue personally. I don't know. Oh, well, I guess that does make sense. I mean, yeah, right, exactly. That's actually funny because I am a bartender, and I went home for the holidays, and it was like, I was making this orgeat because I wanted to make Mai Tais because I've been obsessed with rum for like 6 months. And I've just been into it. I've been making Mai Tais, and I like had to make orgeat because I was in New Jersey, and I'm like, I don't know if there's a bottle of orgeat in this whole state. Genuinely, I had no idea where to look for it. There aren't like specialty cocktail stores. There's like those warehouse liquor stores, and that's it. So I'm making it, right? And my parents are asking. We have a holiday party. And then I swear to God, they put me to work. I was like making drinks for everybody on the holidays. I was like, this sucks. Like I do this all the time. I don't want to work. I don't want to be banging out drinks and asking what people want. And it's exactly like work. I was like, what do you want? Like, I don't know. Like, God damn it. This is just like my job. Except instead of this making me money, it's costing me money. This stinks. They put me to work, man. I didn't like it. You do all your banking at home on your computer. Yeah, well, is what it is. Is what it is. That's just my own personal. I like convenience. I like ease. In fact, I'm getting spoiled. I'm getting spoiled even more than I think normal people are getting spoiled. Speaking as well, my girlfriend, Apple Watch for Christmas, which was very generous, very nice gift. It has this feature on it where if you ping it, you press this button, it pings your phone, which is great because, a lot of times you misplace your phone. But the other day I misplaced my keys and my instinct was to ping it. Oh, there's no app on my watch to ping my keys. I was like, oh, this isn't good. This isn't good. I'm losing my instincts to find just basic stuff because Apple's made everything so streamlined and easy. Yeah. So I don't know where I was going with that, but that's just something that happened. I thought it was fascinating, guys. I thought it was really interesting, Maybe I'll make a video about that. Speaking of videos, oh my God, I tweeted this the other day, but not like it matters because literally none of my tweets get any traction or any reviews. I hate Twitter. Twitter sucks. And it's not just because no one likes me there. That's part of it, certainly. But it's just because anytime I go on there, I don't like the content. It's just what it was. Just now, there's also conservatives, but everyone's just as toxic. It's just as infighty and that's all it is. I don't care for Twitter at all. I'm happy that Elon toppled one of the major nexi of propaganda that the globalists wanted to get out there. Glad that doesn't exist anymore, but it still stinks. And the bots, oh my God, that's all I only get new followers that are bots. That's it. Consuela Enrique Jones, just one follower. Click here to see nudes. It's God damn it. It's really annoying. I hate Twitter. But anyway, I tweeted this out. Why? I don't know, but I did. I'm compelled to get attention from somewhere. Someone will give me attention from somewhere. But I found this video on YouTube. I guess my algorithm just recommended it for me. This guy, I can't remember his name. I should give him credit if I'm talking about him. He made a video about Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Let me see here. Yeah, 12-hour. Okay, it's called A Very Brief Analysis, The Phantom Menace. It is a 12-hour video. 12 hours. And it's pretty compelling. I am watching it, more listening to it, but still, I'm engaging with it. I'm almost 3 hours into it. It's really good. It's really technically proficient. It's intelligent. It's there is no stone left unturned with this guy's analysis. He's going into ship classes and categories and heat waste on the engines. It is thorough. Really, really thorough. But it's pretty fascinating. I thought it was a pretty interesting video. I don't know that I'm going to stick around for the full 12 hours. Put it in the chat if you guys are curious about just taking a look. And this guy's pretty charming, and he's pretty funny, and it's not a takedown video. It's not this is why it stinks. It's just about all the details and just fully analyzing it, analyzing the midichlorians and what that does with the Force. And it's really remarkable. It's a remarkable video. And I think as of now, 728,000 views. It's not bad. Not bad. Just under 1 million. Pretty impressive. So, I don't know. If you feel like watching that, it's out there for you. It's Apple. It's Apple Watch also has a feature where people can text you. That's true. That's a fact. That's a thing. Such a dildo. Apple Watch, eh? I'm glad you're getting more comfortable with your sexuality. I am an unabashed Apple cuck. I said it, so you can't say it. I love Apple. I have this computer here, right? Dual monitor, you know. I can game on it. I have so much RAM on this computer, it's insane. And I was editing the video last night, and the playback, like, freezes. Nothing else is open, just Premiere. And I can't, like, it can't compute fast enough to just give me basic video playback while I'm editing. Windows stinks so much. I hate Windows so much. You need like a computer science minor just to make this thing run properly. Whereas Apple, I have I purchased it refurbished, MacBook Air with 8 gigs of RAM. That'll run Premiere Pro, 40 Chrome tabs, Canva, Fade In, a whole bunch of apps all at once with zero performance issues. Zero. I don't see the argument for Windows. I don't, other than gaming. That's it. These AirPods rule. They have great noise canceling. I mean, shit goes silent. You know, like when I'm on a conversation, like every other wireless earbud I've ever had, my mom on the other end is like, oh, what is that? What are you doing metal work? I'm like, no, I'm just taking a walk. She's like, I don't know. That sounded so loud. And everyone always tells me that. These, no complaints. Apple Watch, brilliant health tracking, all this information. I am an unabashed fan. And you may besmirch me as you see fit, but I'll be happy in my sea of Apple products. Oh, geez. All right, what are we saying here? It's a business, got to fight over anti-woke crumbs. What was that in reference to? I don't remember. My memory stinks. I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, there's like anything else, you know, something gets popular. There are going to be genuine just grifters and people. Like, I was listening to Sirius XM this morning, and I heard Megyn Kelly, like an ad for the Megyn Kelly show come on, and I was like, oh, God. It was so cringe. It was like, we're not politically correct. Like, okay, cool. Way to be tapped in. It's so phony. And I never understand those people that just play to their base. I mean, I guess there's you make a living in it, right? I guess so. But what's the point? Who's that reach except for people who already agree with you? Just like, yep, she's telling it like it is. I don't. Cool. I mean, we're all getting more and more polarized. I don't know. It's like, I don't know, we all live in these little ravines in our culture. We're not interacting with each other. We just hear tale from our chosen voices to tell us what's going on in the outside world, and we know exactly how to feel about it, what opinions to have the second the information gets here. I don't know. What the fuck are you bullshitting? You know you are neck deep in the twats? Huh? Is that at me? What are you saying, Man of War? I watched an 8-hour video about Utopia. It has more than 10 million views. Internet is weird. Yeah, dude. I mean, fucking, what's it? Mahler has that, his series on the Force Awakens. I mean, like, there's multiple videos that are like 4 hours long, and I've watched almost all of them. It's fascinating. It's incredible how, like, the bounds of content really knows no limits. I mean, if you can make it entertaining, people will check it out. People will check. Indoctrination confirmed, sure. You have an Apple computer, Matt? Lol. I'm telling you. Oh, okay, fair enough. I don't know why me having an Apple Watch makes me gay. I find that to be a little homophobic from you, Ascension Dildo. And quite frankly, I expect better. I expect better out of the chat, especially you. But hey, man, you want to stoop to those lows? That's fine. I'm not gonna meet you at your level. I'm gonna stay way up here. Okay. All right, pal. The hate watching stuff is getting dumb. I don't want to hate watch stuff, and then they accuse things of being shit so they can hate watch. I stopped doing that at the Lord of the Rings show. That was the last straw for me. I quit the whole hate watching, this is bad and here's why racket. Not to say it's a racket like it's some kind of grift or whatever. I mean, it's genuinely, you do need people to review shit. I just will not be the person who's going to go out and find the lightning rod content and come back and tell you how bad it is. It makes me an unhappy person. I don't like it. And I'm not good at it. I don't have enough, I don't know. Some people seem to just watch it and they're just like, that's terrible, and they make fun of it and it doesn't affect them. It affects me. And I don't really like doing it. So I stopped doing it. Wait, I was gonna transition into something. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting time with the guys that do that because I was watching. I watched. I still check it out. Like I'm not above watching it or anything like that. I just don't do it personally, and it's not like I think there's anything wrong with it. It's just not my type of content I want to make. But I watched Critical Drinker's Madame Web review, which was funny. I was idly curious. I'm certainly not going to go down a rabbit hole with that movie. I don't care. I think even if it was good, it'd be hard pressed for me to go check it out. But it was interesting. But I think like those guys are really having a moment right now because I mean the content that's out there, like the Madam Web stuff and all that, and the X-Men, they're just becoming like such parodies of themselves that it's not. They almost exist for the internet to dunk on it. Like they don't seem to even be trying. Like it's almost like it's like you like like how you take a Xerox, like a photocopy, and it just gets like less and less each time. It's like they did that with like Captain Marvel or like any of that, like the who's the one from Batman? You know what I'm talking about, with the crazy one, Harley Quinn, and they just kept photocopying it, and then it's just like such a pale, even shitty example of that genre, which sucked in its most pristine version, and you're just like, what? You're still just burning money on this? Like, I don't understand. Like, but I genuinely think it's changing. Like, Senshin Tildo says, MCU is done. Get woke. Go pro. Agree. That's going to be my video. I told you I was working on a video. You already nailed it. I'm going to use that title. Exactly. But I actually think because like it's such parody at this point, and I think this was talked about, I think this was predicted that this shit was going to be coming out a few years even after they realized it doesn't work because the scripts are already in development, they're already greenlit, they got to shoot it, they're like in editing, like it's going to be like it's such a joke now. But I have a feeling, I feel like it's going to turn back around a little bit. And I'm not just saying that to like, encourage false hope or anything. I really feel like a little bit things kind of are changing. Like I was watching, my girlfriend was out of town for Valentine's Day, so I'm not a deadbeat boyfriend who didn't take out my girlfriend on Valentine's Day, okay? We went out to this great restaurant in Austin. Well, it was pretty good, but I took her out and I did things, okay? I'm not a bad guy. But I was home alone on Valentine's Day, just scrolling streaming content, and there was, I think it was on HBO Max or Amazon Prime, and it was like not in the holiday spirit, and it was like Death Wish, No Country for Old Men, like all these like guy movies. I was like, are they marketing to men again? This is awesome. Like I was like, I'd watch that. That's great. I love that. That's awesome. I was like, this is so cool. I think I made a parody video about it about a week ago. Because Shane Gillis became like a partner with Bud Light, and after the whole Dylan Mulvaney thing, Shane Gillis being a partner is like couldn't be the more polar opposite. Like it's a guy that's like outside the Hollywood system, that's like a hugely successful comic, but just like pretty much like dudes like, I mean girls like him too. I mean my girlfriend loves him, but anyway, it's kind of a male, mostly male fan base guy. And so I did a video where Ford did Jordan Peterson because like, oh, well, I guess if, it's okay to have people men like endorsing things, well, let's get Jordan Peterson. Anyway, I thought it was funny. Didn't do great, but I still think it's a funny sketch. So I think with that, like that's actually proving that, hey, nothing's happening. There's no negative backlash on this. Even if there is, it's kind of superficial and doesn't actually matter. I feel like it's possible in the next 6 months, a year, we might actually start getting like marketing to men again and actually making products that we might appreciate. I don't know. I can't guarantee. I got no crystal ball, but I think it's feels like it's slowly inching back towards. It's going to be okay. That is unless Trump gets reelected. If Trump gets reelected, that'll probably stop real fast. They'll probably go back real hard to fighting against anything men like. So, I don't know. Did you guys notice any of that? Is it just me? Am I just foolishly optimistic? I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's changing. Papa Cotton. Hail, buddy. Good to see you, man. Propaganda sucks. Cultural propaganda isn't any more entertaining than any other kind. No, propaganda is boring. Propaganda is really, really boring. Even if I agree with it. Like, I remember years ago, I was watching, like, Jim Jeffries doing stand-up, and I used to think he was really funny, and then I was like, ugh. Like, I'm not, like, the joke is I agree with your point of view, and I did happen to agree with that particular point of view, but I was grossed out. I was like, ew, dude. We're not just here like, we are all so smart and correct about anything. I was like, ew, dude, no. And then, we saw where he went. I don't want to see propaganda. I don't think that's interesting. I also don't think you're much of an artist if you're penning propaganda. Like, anything that I've ever written or created, a lot of times I had to take a look at my own convictions and my own beliefs and kind of challenge them and sort of, find new angles on it and just sort of develop as a person through the process, which is cool. Like, that's a cool gift that artistic creation gives you. But if you go through all that and you just are like, no, it's like, oh, man, you're not a very inspired artist, in my opinion. And yeah, you're a propagandist. You like work for the state. Like, boo, 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 boo. Listless. I think all the hate watching is squeezing out things that are good when they come along. I agree with that. I made that choice like a year ago. I was like, I'm just watching things I want to watch. I'm not going to try to find the hate and everything. And, here's another example of woke. Here's an example of woke. Because I was an unhappy person doing that. It made me miserable. And then I did feel like I was in a culture war. And I was like, this is crazy. I don't want to do this. I want to throw, like flaming spears all the time. Like, I like enjoying things. It's way more fun. I'm not just going to sit here and pretend. Like, I don't like when people pretend. That, I think, is lame. Like, I watched a video, this guy, really good YouTube series called It Was a Shit Show, and I watched it until he got to the one with the Ghostbusters, the girl Ghostbusters, and then just, like, blaming the fans and being a cunt about it. It's like, no, okay, you're lying, dude. You're completely misrepresenting what's going on. I'm not saying you have to be a crusader, but don't lie. So if it comes up, I'll address it, but I don't really feel like that's... I don't know. I wasn't happy with it. It didn't make me, I didn't feel very good. And I also wasn't exactly capitalizing on it either. It's not like my videos are going through the roof. So, nah, not for me, man. Keep it up if it works for you. It's just not for me. Sanjilo, it's changing, but meh. I don't mean shit really. It don't mean shit really when they're teaching the kids. Will someone please think of the children I mean, that's a good point. But even that, I don't know. There's a big spotlight on it. I don't know if it's changing, but it's part of the cultural conversation in a broad way. Not in the way where we're like noticing things like ahead of the curve and then like 4 years later it'll be on the news. Like it's front and center, like when you start fucking with people's kids, they really start to take notice. I was listening to Eric Weinstein on Chris Williamson yesterday talking about that very thing. And I think people are aware of it, and I think it's the possibility is it could change. I don't know. Those people have a real strong grip on the institutions that they inhabit, and those things are custom built to protect ideologues and communists and people like that. So I don't know, but I mean, I don't know what I can do about it. I mean, I'm going to try to make fun of YouTube videos that are hopefully relevant. And if that sways the needle, I'm really proud of myself. But what do? Go to board meetings in Austin and try to tell them to start teaching objective truths instead of like fanciful communist fantasies? I don't know. That seems, I don't know, man. They're your kids. I don't have any kids. I think it's bad. I'm totally against it. I don't know how I contribute to the solution though. Maybe just, I'm just gonna podcast, man. I'm gonna podcast. That'll save the planet, dude. I'm doing this for you, not for me. Not because I'm needy for attention. That isn't it. It's because I'm trying to save America. See that MAGA hat? Boom. I love America. That's actually for a sketch. It was for a sketch of a conservative rapper. And then fucking Ben Shapiro goes out and actually becomes a conservative rapper and totally takes the punchline out of my joke. I'm like, shit, now what? I was so upset. I had chains. I had like all this like bling and shit. And then it was like, well, there's no joke now. That's just a thing that exists. Fuck. That stunk. OG. There's been a huge pushback in Canada on kids' education, but it was mainly led by Muslim parents, and then Gaza happened, kind of threw water on it. Yeah, that was pretty funny, too. I think Ryan Long's made this joke before, so this isn't really my observation, but I do think, like, you know, like the queer contingent, like in America, is like looking at Muslims like, we're all the same, and they're just like, we are fucking not. They have a real hard line to say with that gay shit. They do not fuck with the gay shit at all. Like, I think Polishuk put out a video where it's just like, queers for Palestine. He's like, what does this mean? What does this mean? I could do a rap song with Shapiro, maybe. I couldn't get through that video. I was cringing so hard. I kept thinking about you. Such a dildo with Tom McDonald. It's so cringy, dude. Like, and these people who are like, I don't care if I offend you. It's like, bro, that would have been cool in like 2015. It would be cool to be like, that's how you feel. Now, dude, like it's like, now it's safe to not offend people. You know, like it's just so the mainstream take. It's like, and we're on to the offense thing. It's not an edgy, hard Scrabble. I'm just taking them all on. Like, you're like, oh, you fucking tool. You're like a boomer. You're like a half a decade behind the conversation, man. It's just like, so cringy. And I couldn't even get to Shapiro's verse. The only way I was able to actually watch the whole thing was Jordan Peterson did a breakdown video about it. And that was way more compelling and interesting than the actual music video. Because, like, I've known about Tom McDonald. I've known he stinks for a long time. So, like, I was like, I can't do this. I want to for like the cringe and for the gag, but I can't. I'm so uncomfortable. I need to turn this off. And it was Peterson. Once again, Jordan Peterson saved me. He saved me. Boomer truth regime needs to go. Oh, it's brutal. Absolutely brutal. I mean, I swear to God, the things the boomers say blows my mind. My mom's a boomer. Dad's a boomer. I was talking to my mom the other day, and like, I was telling her I was putting the MAGA hat like on top of the new shelving I bought, and she's like, "No, don't do that." And I was like, "Oh, listen, if you thought I was supporting him before, you better believe I'm fucking doubling down now that they give him a $350 million penalty for absolutely fucking nothing. Now I mean it, you know. Before it was a joke. Now I'm serious." And she's like, you know, people in New York always knew that he was like a shyster and a criminal. I'm like, when? No, they did not. Where'd you come up with that retcon? He was like a very beloved celebrity. He was all over like The Apprentice. People liked him. He used to do like on radio stations. He would do Real Talk with Trump and shit like that. There was not this consensus he was some slimy criminal. Like, what are you talking about? Where'd you come up with that? But that's just, you know, she's just like, nope, that's been the truth. It's like, when? Golly, man, the boomers they're very susceptible to bullshit. It's a shame, man. Hello, Mr. Rock fan. Very good to see you, sir. Very good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you, man. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've seen everybody. I know there's a Vegas meetup coming. I don't know because actually, your boy is going to Hawaii next month. Now, before you assume I hit the lottery or killed someone for money, my girlfriend travels for work, and she's traveling to Hawaii and is bringing my ass along. So, free trip to Hawaii for your boy, but I don't know that I can then justify going to Vegas the next month after that. So, maybe not. I'm not sure. It's up in the air, but if anyone's going, maybe I'll see you. Maybe I won't. I don't know. All right. Well, I put some news stories in the title of this thing, so I should probably read one, I guess. Let's see here. This one caught my eye, so much so that I put it in the title of this very video, of this very podcast that you are so graciously watching, and I appreciate that. You're a good person. Just take that with you. You're a good person. Okay. Sleepy Connecticut town rocked by alleged drug-dealing pastor. This is from the New York Post. I didn't make this up. This is not a pitch for a new series on Showtime. This is a real story. I don't know the quality of the story because I don't really do much research. You know what? I can share the video with you. Let's share the screen and let's find out together. What is the point of these New York Post videos? No one's talking in them, and then oh wait, are they? No, it's just like the headlines that you're going to read in this very article. What is the point of that? Good Lord, that's lazy. All right. Forget pot sniffing around New York's cathedrals. Nearby in uppity Connecticut exists a Methodist church where it shoves the donations and stuffs the Hail Marys. Okay, forget a buck in the basket. Its religious rev was allegedly hustling junk. Earlier this month, the pastor got arrested, age 63. 63? Jesus. Dealing drugs, it's like Walter White. The Reverend Herbert Irving Miller prayed there since July. Forget Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. Cleric Herbie, is that a joke? Was allegedly selling drugs. Crystal meth. Meth priest? That rules. There needs to be a parody movie of Meth Priest. That needs to happen now. That rules. Clientele called it speed, ice, or dunk. Dunk? Or no-dose, or White Cross. I mean, talk of a happy last supper. Oh, that's not very funny because I don't think you eat much when you're doing meth. The hierarchy at United Methodist Church in Woodbury called it a shock to the community. Yeah, no kidding. Who is this cheeky writer? He thinks he's so damn cute. He's pitching his own podcast. Undercover guys pulling him over on South Main Street. Per the report, they collared his worship, hustling the stuff from a car a pew away. All right, already with the jokes. Jesus, just give me the information. Inside drugs, methamphetamine in rock and liquid form, hypodermic needle. The car, no registration, no insurance. Badges charged with, besides being charged with possession and intent to sell drugs, he illegally operated a motor vehicle. I mean, that's the real story. Way to bury the lead, New York Post. DMV law is nothing to be. It's very serious. Very serious. He's been jailed, released on a $10,000 bond. This padre listed his address as the rectory. His court appearance is Friday. Herbie no longer an elder in the United. Can't you just give me some details instead of being all cute? I just want to know, like, how much meth? How long has he been doing it? That's a pretty thin article. I hate that, man. I hate when I get caught in by a very intriguing, salacious title. Wait, Madonna crashes on stage mid-song? Okay, want to see that for sure. I mean, pretty funny. Like, that totally does sound like some new show, right? I mean, you had, like, single mom selling pot in Weeds. You had chemistry teacher selling meth in Breaking Bad. And now we definitely need a priest selling meth in Connecticut. I think that should be the next show, if not a docuseries, one or the other. But I find that very, very fascinating. Very fascinating. God is the only one who can judge. Why do we need juries? This dude. Yeah, for real. For real, for real. You want to see Madonna fall? I kind of want to see Madonna fall. Yeah, that's pretty funny. You see this Windows bullshit? This Windows shit. Yeah, no. Why do you like Mac? I don't know. It works. Call me crazy. Oi. Oh, that's pretty anticlimactic. What the hell is going on there? She's being dragged. That's pretty funny. And then look at her try to like. She's still singing. I mean, she probably isn't. That's probably not singing, but. And she lays there like she meant it. Oh man. That's super cringy. Oh, that's pretty cringy. Old Madge, still trying to be sexy and falling. Granted, it wasn't really her fault. It was that person. think that's a man, but I don't want to assume anything. Dropping her. So, in Madge's defense, but it is very, I don't know. Is it sad to you as it is to me? It just bums me out, man. When people can't age gracefully, they can't get over what they used to have and who they are. I don't know. It creeps me out. It makes me kind of sad. Some like Arrested Development later in life. Just, evolve. Move on to the next stage, right? It's not that big of a deal. It's okay. You're old. It is what it is. You're not supposed to be sexy forever. That's crazy. Be pumping out kids in your 70s? No. It's a young woman's game. Just, grace. It's grace. I don't know. Shall we find lizards are tough? That's funny. Yeah, listless. Camarada just stopped. She's so far past the wall, she's in another solar system. Yeah, seriously. She's into the plaster. Just stop, Grandma. It's true. Could you imagine? I mean, how old is Madonna? Madonna's like, isn't she almost 70, right? 65. My mom is like 2 years older than Madonna. If my mom was out there doing that, I'd be fucking mortified. Whether or not she was Madonna, I'd be like, Mom, would you just play with your grandkids, please? My sisters, not mine. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Trying to be sexy in your twilight years? Would you fucking cut the shit? Would you cut the shit, please? Jesus Christ. The man in corset heels. Yeah, well, it's a Madonna show, It's not like it's in a preschool. That only happens in Seattle. How much did you pay for those tickets? Listen, if I shot that, the resolution would be far greater. You'd be able to see that old lady's teeth get chipped on the stage. You'd be able to hear her hip breaking. Okay? My production value would be far greater than that. Plus, I'm a Gaga guy. Okay? I like Gaga. I actually don't. I find her music addictive in a creepy way, where it's like I don't like it, but I hear it in my head way longer than after I listen to it, and I'm like, wait, I don't like this song. Why am I listening to it? I don't know. Gaga creeps me out. They all creep me out. I don't like pop stars. Listless. My mom is 69. I'd be horrified. I'm horrified that she's... Oh, your mom's a Swiftie. That's rough. That's a rough one. Yeah, I wouldn't like that. There's no Swifties in my life, thank God. My girlfriend's not a Swiftie. She doesn't like Taylor Swift. She finds the whole thing annoying. Her friends like it, but I don't really need to deal with them. But your mom's a Swiftie? Huh. I got cringed out years ago when I found out my mom likes all those America's Got Talent and like American Idol shows. I was like, Mom, you watch this shit? Like I felt... I held you in such high esteem, Mom. I thought you had taste, I thought you were classy. Like, you read all the time. Why are you watching this shit? I don't think I understand what... Shut up, such a dildo. It is good video quality, okay? It is. It's like a mobile movie studio, bro. You don't know, and you wouldn't know because you're an Android guy. What is the appeal of trash TV, though? I don't get that, man. My girlfriend watches that shit, and she watches, like, good movies and shows when she's with me. But every time I go to her house, she's got, like, the Kardashians on or Vanderpump Rules and even the other shit that's, like, even bad by trash TV standards. And I'm like, why do you do this? Why do you watch this garbage? Like, I can't watch it for more than about 3 or 4 seconds without mocking it. I can't help it. It's so fucking stupid. We even tried to watch Love on the Spectrum, the season 2, which I actually really appreciated season 1. I thought it was really sweet and heartfelt, but this one was so overproduced. Like, you could tell this conversation's not really happening, that the producers put them up to having this conversation, and it just feels so fake. I can't move past that, It really bugs me. I don't know. What are you even trying to tell V-dubs about, Pop? What is that? Jake D. What's going on, Jake D? Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for joining, brother. It figures my one scheduled conference call for work today started at the same time Matt did. You can't. I never do this shit. It's super random, so it's not like you could schedule around it. Trying to get back at it. You know what I mean? Trying to stay a productive YouTuber, a productive entertainer. That's a strong word for what I do, but you know what I'm saying. Amanda Ward, just be glad she isn't watching murder shows, or is she? She does. She watches that shit. Of course she does. She's never seen True Detective season 1 too, which I'm like, what are you doing? It's like the best murder show ever. You should watch that one. But we watched what's that show? Blackbird on Apple Plus. That was good. That was a mini series. That was really good. One of those crime shows. Really liked that. Apple's got some good stuff, man. I was gonna say I'm not ashamed to say, but I'm a little ashamed to say. Not ashamed, but a little like, surprised I find myself in this position. That I'm a fan of Ted Lasso. Me and my girl watched it. I loved it. Loved every second of it. Did not expect to. In fact, hated it when I started it. Hated the sense of humor and the cheesiness of it, but we ended up absolutely loving it. It's a really, really good show. Ted Lasso's great. And I never really like the things that the masses like because I'm too cool, man. I'm just too different from everybody else. I got my own opinions, So I don't watch what you sheep watch. I watch cool stuff. Like The Expanse and Star Wars, okay? But that was really good. We're watching Masters of the Air now. Masters of Air. It's like Band of Brothers in the Sky. It's pretty good. I really like it, but it's not Band of Brothers. It's a good show, though. It's a good show. Sentient Dildo says, heard Ted Lasso goes to shit later on. It does in season 2, but it corrects itself by season 3. Season 2 gets kind of gay. One of the main characters just magically becomes a lesbian halfway through the season. And you're like, where the fuck did that come from? And then it gets a little like, little pandery to race stuff, There's some racial things that are said, like these sort of givens that aren't really givens, and shots at colonialism and blah blah blah. But honestly, they're negligible. You can enjoy the show without that. Like it doesn't really hinge on that. They just seem to be like obligatory mentions. You just have to say now to get a TV show made in Hollywood. But like, other than that, it actually is quite good. And the guy, Jason Sudeikis, is great. I mean, it's such a good show. Like, it just has a good heart. It makes you feel good when it's over. It's really sweet and wholesome and genuinely funny at times. Like, I really like Ted Lasso way more than I ever anticipated. In fact, like, we started it, and I hated it. And I turned it off after, like, 20 minutes, 15 minutes. I couldn't take it. I was like, this is fucking garbage. Everyone's stupid. And I went to work the next day and I told this guy about that. And he's like, dude, I had the same reaction. You got to just trust me. Watch it. I was like, oh, fuck. Well, now I think you suck. You got bad taste in TV. And then we did. And he was right. It is awesome. It's just feel good. It just makes you genuinely feel good, which is like needed. I don't really need all my entertainment to be like dark and brooding, man. Life's fucking shit. Stop it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. When's season 2 of Severance coming out? I don't know, because that got delayed by the strike. So I don't know. There was apparently some problems behind the scenes with getting it out and made and all that. And so I don't really know. I hope soon. I really hope soon. I read some theories about what they're working on, which I thought was really fascinating. I won't divulge them here because just having read them, I'm like, oh, that's probably what that is. So if you're curious, go look it up because it does exist. But I definitely recommend, that show's incredible. If you have not seen Severance season 1, I highly, highly recommend that. Very, very good. Listless like Reacher season 2. It was a good plot idea. Sweet. I started Reacher. I liked it. I don't know. It's kind of one of those shows that was super popular because it's like, it's not woke. And so you're like, okay. And then you're watching it. And I'm like, do I actually like this? Or do I just like the fact that it's not woke? Like, I can't tell. So I needed some distance from it to go back and I'll have to go back and watch it. It's not like I had anything against it. I just remember being like, I like it, but I don't think there was anything keeping me watching it, or I just got over it. I don't know. I was kind of curious to see if they're going to do more of that Outer Range show on Prime. The one with Josh Brolin that like was really good and then got really weird and didn't make any sense. I want to see if they've got the balls to push through that. Sedja Dildo asks, Matt, seen The Bear? Everybody's raving about it. I'm going to check it out. I have not seen The Bear. My girlfriend's seen The Bear. My mom's seen The Bear. The reason I haven't seen The Bear is because it takes place in a hectic kitchen. And I work in hectic kitchens and restaurants. And I don't want to do that in my spare time. I don't like those shows. They stress me out. It just gives me the anxiety that I get at work every day. I don't need that. I don't need to relive that. I know exactly what that's like. I'm not interested. That shit just gives me, it's just like being at work again. God, I gotta stop shrugging with my hand on the desk. The whole thing's shaking. I don't need that myself. No, thank you. No, I hear it's great, and maybe I probably could, but I never watch kitchen shit ever. So I'm like, I'm fine. I don't need to relive that. Don't need to relive that. Man of War. I just watched both seasons of Thundar the Barbarian. Sounds hands down better than most of this shit. Thundar the Barbarian? What is that? This is new to me. Is that Thundar the Barbarian? Is that an old show? Sounds old. Animated series. Oh yeah, it is old. 1980. Nice. 1980. Okay. That's great. I love that animation. It's like bad He-Man. That rules. That rules. I did, and then we'll move on to the other news story that I put in the top there. I did about 20 years before. I was born in 85, Man of War. I'm almost 40, sir. Not that I'm happy about that, but it's true. I'll be 39 in May, man. Golly, gee whiz. This is all going pretty fast. It took us literally 3 sittings, but that was kind of by design. But I did end up watching Killers of the Flower Moon, and I really, really liked it. It might have been that my expectations were so low because I really did not care for The Irishman. Thought it was a bloated, self-indulgent mess that had no dramatic tension because I knew he was going to die because Jimmy Hoffa is one of the most famous mob deaths ever. Mob disappearances, whatever. The length, I detested the length. It felt like a chore to get through. Not the case with The Flower Moon. Despite the fact that it's goddamn 4.5 hours long. Like at one point, me and my girlfriend were watching it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm really into this. Like, I'm surprised that people said like it dragged, and I was like, I don't think so. And we paused it. There were still 3 hours to go, and I was like, all right, well, let's wait and see. But no, it's great. Despite its length, it's actually pretty zippy. Like it's very efficient. I didn't feel like there was much wasted screen time at all. And it really didn't feel like a 4-hour movie. Like it was great. Like it was just a slow, steady burn all the way through. And it was extraordinarily well acted. I mean, De Niro, can't believe he still got it. Still got it. Fucking DiCaprio in like a whole other light. Never seen DiCaprio like this, where he's like this low status kind of, not idiot, but just sort of chucklehead, you know? And he's got this kind of weird laugh and these teeth. He was brilliant. And I lost DiCaprio in the role, you know? Like I didn't see DiCaprio at all. I just saw like this performance. It was incredible. And the storytelling was super efficient. It felt like Scorsese. It's got that signature violence. It was great. You know, depressing because it's a real true story. And I was reading about it afterwards, and a lot of it pretty much went down the way they said it went down. And you're not left with a good feeling at the end. But it's a very good, I mean, it was great. Like I authentically didn't expect to enjoy it, and I loved it. Really, really good. You know? Scorsese, man. That guy. You know, his body of work is impressive, but he's still pumping out hits like this late in life. Like The Wolf of Wall Street is excellent. It's one of the most fun movies, like male, like testosterone filled. And he's like making that shit like in his 70s. You're like, God damn, dude, you are a badass. Said your dildo. Heard good things about it. Flower Moon, not the Irishman. That's a horrible simulacrum of that Guido's filmmaking style. Yeah, dude, that stunk. That was really, really bad. That choice to age down De Niro was a god-awful, unforgivable choice. And giving him blue eyes was so damn distracting. Someone's face I've been looking at my whole life in movies, right? De Niro. He's an icon. I know he doesn't have blue eyes. It's so distracting. Like, stop. What are you doing? No. Don't do that. But this was different. Munch on that white guilt snack, Matt. Yum. I mean, it's there. It didn't give me white guilt. Like, I didn't feel like, oh, we're so bad. Why are we so evil? But it is implied in the depiction of this particular story. But it's also a true story. I mean, this guy murdered like something like 20 or 30 Osage to get their money. And it was real nefarious about it. You know, like, you read the story, like, what this guy did was dark. And it's real, you know? I mean, unless there's another side to the story that didn't come out. But it was pretty interesting. It was also like the birth of the FBI, you know, for what that's worth. Not that I'm a fan of three-letter agencies, but it was just it was very interesting. It was very, very good. I mean, I really liked it. I think if I had any criticism, I think maybe they rushed the ending. Like, I think they could have moved like the beginning of like the investigation towards more towards the middle of the film, instead of like using most of the film to build up just how bad these guys were and exactly how evil they were, what the crimes were. I think if they had gotten the investigation in, maybe it would have been a little more dramatic tension of like them not knowing if they're going to get caught and trying to hide from the law enforcement guys. But I mean, authentically, that was I really. Like, I don't like the subject matter. Like, I don't like being like in all these evil white people. I am quite sick of that story. But it's a true story, and it was a really damn good movie. But it left a sour taste in your mouth. You're just like, man, that stinks. Heard that Indian chick killed her role. Yeah, no, Cass was great. She really was very good. She's great in the beginning, I think. It's a very good performance, but she's very passive for a long time. So you kind of lose her in the story. It's like she is doing a great job, but for like half the movie, she's like sick and bad. So she's not really like that pivotal to like the story or anything like that, but she is good. I mean, she's very good. But I think also like, you know, kind of got to say that. Can't be like this movie about all these Indian murders. Boy, the white men in that movie were so good. You got to be like, she's great. And she was. But I also, like I said, like half the movie, she's like dying. And then like, you know, so it's like, she's good, but she's not very pivotal to the story. It's really more about these dudes being real pieces of shit. Man of War doesn't think it's true. Are you just a skeptic, or do you have any reason to believe it's not true? Because I was reading about it. I mean, it's a real case. It's like, you know, court documents and everything. I don't know. If you have evidence that it's bullshit, that Scorsese's lying to me, let me know. I'll check it out. I'll take a look. I would love for it to not be true. I would love for no American man to have ever done a bad thing ever. It's not the case, though. Not the case. All right. So this I saw and did no follow-up on, but I was curious and thought it could spur a conversation. So once I get the ad blocker up and running, because, boy, the Daily Mail loves ads. Boy, do they, huh? They love their ads. It's like a lot. It's like draining my computer's resources. As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be an That's funny. That's a good reference. Hey there, Hendry. I'm trying to empower this broad here, eh? Yeah, that's funny. All right. Jon Stewart savages dick Tucker Carlson's unquestioning propaganda for Russia and rips the ex-Fox host for copying... that looks weird. Cozying up... Is that how that's spelled? Cozying up to brutal and ruthless Vladimir Putin. We're going to read the article because they always just sum it up and then there's no reason to read it. All right, ads. Didn't work at all, did it? Jon Stewart put the boot into Tucker, branding the former Fox star a dick. Ooh, harsh words. For his softball interview with the brutal and ruthless Russian President Vladimir Putin. The conservative commentator has faced a ferocious backlash for his cozy sit-down with the dictator, which intensified after Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny was found dead on Friday. It emerged on Tuesday that Carlson's interview in Moscow took place on the day dual Russian-American ballerina Ksenia Kalerina was arrested on treason charges and donating $50 to a Ukrainian charity. $50. Boy. On Monday night, the Daily Show host did not pull his punches, and he accused Carlson of capitulation to power. I know I said it before, but you're such a dick. Disguise your deception and capitulation to power as noble and moral based in freedom. I don't... This whole Ukraine-Russia thing confuses me. Because I'm not on Russia's side. I don't think they're very good. Plus, they hate America, so fuck you, dude. But... Since when do we not talk to dictators? Is that new? I feel like we always did. I mean, I feel like, we would talk with we would meet with Stalin. And that guy's one of the worst people who's ever lived. So I don't understand. Is it just because it's Tucker? He's not supposed to be the one who meets with him? But I mean, are we literally just not supposed to let the man speak? Is it genuinely immoral to go do that? I don't know. I feel like the only perspective I've ever gotten on this conflict is the mainstream media's perspective, all the little militant army people who are supporting them, and then Dave Smith. Is that the only other one I've heard who said anything that was intelligent and kind of insightful about this whole thing? I don't know. It just seems kind of complicated. Sentient Dodo says it's narrative protection. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's what it appears to be. It appears to be to me. I don't really know. The Spurgey about Tucker doing a bit of journalism is so cringe. Yeah, that's what I thought. There's literally, I was hearing someone talk about, there was an interview with first of all, I think Mike Wallace has already interviewed Putin. And wasn't there interviews with Osama bin Laden? Right? Aren't there interviews with all these Middle East dictators and shit like that? Since when do we not talk to those people? I'm not saying we have to like what they say. Typically you come away not liking them, but do we just not, we don't let them speak anymore? This is brand new to me. OG says, I think what's happening is a lot of people are talking about Russia. I have no idea about the place. There's good and bad. I'm not a Putin apologist, but still. Yeah, I mean, I sat down to watch the Trigonometry, it's that British podcast, talking about Putin, because they do good stuff. I like those guys. They had this whole video with this girl from Senegal, and she was talking about how socialism ruined Africa. That was really fascinating. You guys should check that out. Really interesting interview from this woman. And then they were talking about this whole thing. And I mean, I swear, I don't know. I got maybe 25 minutes in. I was like, I don't fucking give a shit. I'm not interested in this enough to dissect. What did Putin say? What did he really mean? I don't know. With the exception of the fact that the United States is giving them untold billions of dollars, it just seems far away. It just seems far away from me, and I don't know how much I really care all that much. I'm not saying I want people to be suffering, but I don't know that me necessarily investing in it would stop that. I don't know, but it just is a weird one. That's not Bagface. Good to see you, brother. But it's a weird one because it's kind of I don't know. They're so invested in it. They're so emotionally invested in it, and it's you're not supposed to talk. You're not even allowed to hear them. It's why? What if there are lies? What if there is just some confusion here? So what? You know, you can dissect it and be like, this guy's lying. I don't know what the point is, how it would be helpful to not hear him speak. Manowar, I have no use for any of them. However, Stewart should be saying all this while ordering soup at a deli somewhere, not on my idiot box. Yeah, I mean, I don't watch the TV though. The only thing I actually this Saturday, maybe I'll do a YouTube watch party, guys. We'll all get together because Shane Gillis is hosting SNL on Saturday, and I'm really excited to see how that plays. I'm actually going to watch it live. It might be the first episode of Saturday Night Live I've ever intentionally sat down to watch live. And I'm not just saying that. I'm not virtue signaling. I think that might be true. Isn't there a video of him saying this or something? I thought that, what, am I just like supposed to take your word? Did he say it or not? I want to hear what Stewart's got to say. No, that's not it. It's the same ad. What's going on here? What is going on? Is there no clip? It's just a picture of him? What the hell, Daily Mail? Just a little slideshow. Well, that's great. How about the video of him saying it? Why would it just be a transcript? Is it? Oh, those are just ads. Oh, okay. I don't know, man. I need a producer. Anybody want to work for free to be my producer? I'll hire you. I won't pay much. I probably won't even be all that nice, but you can have the job. I guess there's no video of it. All right. Well, no, I guess. Wait, is this it?
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. You know your television is dying. I said, I am aware.
What's this TDS in the corner? Oh, is that the Daily Show? I thought they were just admitting they have Trump derangement syndrome. I thought they were saying this is TDS News. I thought they were just having a full-on confession. I wasn't sure. That's like a surprise, refreshingly opaque, refreshingly honest. You know why. You know why. It's true. It's war. There's nothing but lies. That's a good point. It's a good point. Yeah, solid. Putin said what he said. Is he Satan incarnate? No, but he's not a hero either. Ukraine fucked up their peace agreement. Chance. Fact. Well, that's what I thought. That's what I understood. Was that, like, especially like NATO powers, they kept putting pressure on him, and he just reacted. But he does seem like a real piece of shit. Like, it's so weird. I'm like, I'm not on his side. Like, that guy murders political opponents. Like, I'm not a Putin fan. But why are you making me hate him so much? Like, do you want global nuclear war? I don't understand what's happening here. It's very weird. Backface says, Stewart is a disgustingly good journalist, in your opinion. I don't know. I haven't watched him in so long. Like, I watched him back when I was a lib and Obama was running. I watched him and fucking Colbert every night. But I don't know. I'm suspicious of all those characters now. Let's see what he's got to say.
And in fact, I'm contributing to it. You're welcome. I did have such a good time last week doing the program, and then everybody, Comedy Central was like, "Oh, what are you going to do this week?" And
I'm gonna get claimed here. Okay, so here's maybe the Tucker part.
Particulars of
In Moscow tonight, we're here to interview the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin.
Saints be praised. For Professor Tucker, Aloysius Mayflower, Kenny.
Okay, I can't actually do this because if I do this, I'm gonna get claimed and I won't be able to keep the stream up. They might even take it down. Nor did I find any clips. Maybe I should have done a little bit of research, but I assumed falsely, inaccurately. I admit that. But I assumed that an article talking about a particular clip in a show that's recorded, and obviously you can get access to this video, would include the clip. Call me crazy. Call me absolutely crazy. The full 15 minutes is on YouTube. Yeah, so is it a 15-minute? I don't know. Is he a good journalist? Maybe once, not from what I've seen lately. I haven't watched any of it. You know, people are kind of happy. I think there really is. I think what I really think it is that I think like there is a genuine like, you know, people want to be rational, but nobody really wants to be a lot of people they don't want to have to like genuinely face the fact that the left has lost its collective mind, and that there's very little redeeming left in that kind of political point of view. And so what they just want, can't we just go back like when the Democrats were cool but reasonable? You know, can't we? That's why like people like RFK, they're like, remember when the Kennedys? Remember that? Remember LBJ? Where it's like we were American, we're capitalists, all that stuff, and we just be nice to black people. Can't we have that? Like none of them want to take the risk of like changing political parties. Like they feel like they're splitting, like they're having mitosis. Like they couldn't possibly imagine that, or just being a little bit more right of center than left. It's like no, I can't have that. So remember the Jon Stewart days? Those were good days when he was like, we were like the rebellious force under Bush. Remember that? Can we have that again? And they just won't accept it. So everyone's kind of like, oh, I want RFK back, and I want Jon Stewart back, because I don't have the moral courage to evolve politically and recognize that, no, you know what? The conservatives actually have some pretty good points, even though they're cunts a lot. Yeah. I think that's really what it is, because I feel like it's so unfashionable to be on the right that the cognitive dissonance is building up so tremendously large that they just won't. They even though maybe internally they've adjusted, the two will not connect. They can't acknowledge the fact that they have changed. The party has changed tremendously, and they want out, but there's not much they could do. I don't know. That's my estimation, because I live in a liberal mecca in Austin, and you see like the older kind of Democrat type liberal people, and like they're it's like, yeah, they're like, it's fucking Trump and gotta get the Democrats in. I'm like, didn't you get your car broken into the other day because of all these like fabulous liberal policies? Like, at what point does the reality catch up with you when you start to acknowledge, oh, you know what? As much as I thought I was a good guy, a freedom fighter, I'm actually kind of a chump. They took me for a ride, and I was wrong. Like, is that painful to admit? I admitted it several times. I admitted it with the Bush administration when I was in high school. I admitted it with the Obama administration when I was in college. It's not that painful to like realize that, you were lied to. Like we were all lied to. It's a collective thing. Like I didn't base my identity in it. Well, I probably did back then, but I currently don't base my identity in it. Like as an adult, like, and I feel like if you do, that's kind of pathetic, but even so, you can grow, and you can realize that despite your ideals and your values, the people who happen to have a D next to their name are kind of crazy and actually are destructive and incompetent to be in leadership right now. Not forever, just presently. Just presently. And it's okay. It's fine. We don't need to have like the remember the anti-Bush days? Yeah, remember the anti-Nixon days? Like they want to recapture their glory days of being a defiant lib, and it's like, yeah, well, now they're in your preschools trying to change your son's gender, So maybe just pay attention that it's just different. It's not about labor unions and race rights. Okay? It's about like the destruction of the fabric of reality. With not an exaggeration, like that's kind of the goal. So I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe it's much more painful for people to divorce from their ideals than it is for some. I don't know. I don't fucking know. All right. Can't we just go back to center? Yeah. Yeah, that's why I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. Zax, what's up, baby? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Didn't he defend trans kids' rights? Is that a reasonable Democrat position these days? Did he? I don't keep up on everything he did. I just remember like back when it was anti-Bush, back when I thought like the left actually had reasonable points and that they weren't just lying and pretending to be more virtuous than the right. Because I was naive. I was in my 20s. What do you want from me? Hey there, listless receptionist, formerly office girl. There are a bunch of us that are basically still basically at center. Everyone else left and didn't tell us. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people that are still there. It's just that they don't want to, like the center left people, like refuse to ever go to the right, even if it's like a moderate person on the right. Like they can't, even though they're brushing up so much closer to that like sort of mindset. They can't, and they're just like desperate for like. That's why everyone's talking about how bad. Oh, this is the worst election. What a clown show. I'm like, no, I want Trump back. I thought he did a great job. I want him back for a third time, but I want him. I don't like. I'm happy with it. I don't think it's a bad option at all. And so like people are like, it's the worst. I'm like, I don't think it's bad. I think it's bad you propped up Biden and forced us into this fucking mess that we're in right now. But I'm happy with the Republican candidate, and I'm going to vote for him. So, like, I don't know why everyone's like, oh, this is horrible. Isn't this horrible? Like, I don't think so. Personally, I think it's fine. I'm thrilled about it. But, you know, I don't know. The dialectic never stops. Hail true sentient dildo. I'm more center right. But now I'm just a far right extremist every time I would say anything. There's that great meme of like the map of like, you know, extreme left, right, authoritarian, like, and then it's just like there's just this tiny little corner in the very top left, and everything else is far right. And like, it's an extremist stuff. I mean, my friend's a leftist. He's a good guy, but he's a leftist, and he talks about, you know, all this misunderstanding and how stupid like people are that I really respect. But I think if you're curious about this stuff, I think it's like, if you're like, why? James Lindsay, I think, is the best resource for all this, because in my opinion, he's nonpartisan. He's not like there's conservative people that like I kind of agree with a little bit, and then like I hear, I'm like, oh, you're just rallying for your side. You're not like dissecting the truth, right? Because you'll just be the same thing that like we put you in charge. You're basically just aping what people are saying that actually want like progress, but then you're just going to bring in your own bullshit with it. You're not authentic. You're not to your core about solving the problems, whether they're left or right. You're just like, no, we'll just solve the left problems, and then I'll bring in all my right-wing bullshit. And it's just, ugh. But I think Lindsay's one of those guys who is an authentic, like precise, like studious, like really interesting guy to explain all this crazy horse shit and why it keeps happening, but it's so ubiquitous. I don't know. Guys, that's going to do it for this episode of the MFer Podcast. I really appreciate you spending the time with me today. It's fun to be back, and it was great to see everybody. That was genuinely a good time. Thank you, guys. I was really worried. I'm glad you showed up and supported me with comments in the chat, because that makes it a lot easier to do the show when I'm having a conversation than when I'm just like, what else? So Trump's in the news. You know, it's a little, Send your dildo. Lindsay is blinded by his liberalism. He's deluded. His research on the woke is great, though. Ooh, would love to talk about that more some other time. Can't do it now because I got to go to work. But, folks, this was a really, really good time. Just so you know, these are not going to stay up on Foulball Productions, the live streams, because all they do is just pull down the algorithm. And I am desperate for subs. Please stop unsubbing people from me. But they will remain forever on the MFer Podcast on YouTube. It's its own channel. It's its own thing. So they'll all be up, always there. So please feel free to subscribe. You could also catch all these streams, these live streams on there at the same time. There we go. Subscribe. It's in the chat. Anytime you want to rewatch it or whatever, make sure to just sub. That's where this podcast will live there. So if you're desperate to go back and watch old episodes, which I know you are, you can check it out there. So please subscribe there, and always be live streaming on both at the same time. So thank you very much for checking me out. I appreciate it. It was good to see y'all. Man Awards 665 Neighbor of the Beast. Member for 22 months. Damn, dude. I've had members for like 2 years. That's crazy. I'm a terrible YouTuber. You are really, really good, dude, for staying a member that long, buddy. I really appreciate you, brother. I hope to. You going to Vegas? I hope to see you soon, my friend. Hope to see you soon. I don't know if the Texas meetup's happening this year or whatever, but I miss you, buddy. It's good to see you. Oh hell, I forgot about these. Here's my point, Matt. With friends like these, right, guys? That's what they say. All right, folks. It has been absolutely real. What am I going to play you out on? What do I play you out on today? I don't know. Got the Con Air thing. You know what? I just like playing you out on Ruben. Honestly. Just play you out on Ruben's song. It's been real, guys. I'll see you soon. I'm going to be doing this again. So, later, alligator.
Yeah, good.